Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. You're welcome to my channel. Please, if you are new here and you haven't subscribed yet, kindly subscribe to my channel to grow it for me. And if you subscribe to, kindly hit the notification bell so anytime I upload a content, you will receive the notification and then be the first to watch my vlogs. And those that are also old here, kindly like, share, and comment on my video for me. So today I want us to look at the basic requirement that one needs before he or she can apply to school overseas. I mean school from his domestic country. So first of all, any individual that aims to study overseas would need a passport, which of course is being classified as a primary requirement, though other countries accept birth certificate, but currently it is really minimal. So I would advise anyone that aims to study overseas to have a passport. And what is a passport? A passport is basically a document that is being issued by a government in any country that permits the bearer to travel to other countries. So I would advise each and everyone that aims to study overseas to first of all to get a passport from his or her domestic country before the process. Then the next one has to do with certificate. And certificate here has to do with a document that is being given to one person after completion of a particular program of study. And it can be an HND, it can be a degree, it can be a master's, it can be a PhD. These are the certificates I am talking about. Then the next one has to do with official academic transcript or statement of results. After completion of a particular course, a student is being given an official transcript. Usually, the student would have to apply for it and then the school will issue it to the student. In my school, that is how it works. Where I completed, that is University of Kikos, that is where it works. And then the next document that an individual should actually look at for has to do with English proficiency or letter. That one too, it is just like official academic transcript. It is the school that issue it. If an individual, please pay attention to this. If an individual is coming from an English-speaking country, the only thing that actually signifies that the person have a fluency in English has to do with English proficiency or letter. And if you happen to be one, you quickly go to your university and then you apply and it will be issued to you. But if you happen to be someone coming from an non-English speaking country, usually Asia country like China per se, most of the schools requires what we call IELTS or TOEFL, which of course you can register it at the ETS website. That's a higher education testing service. Sorry for that. Education testing service. It's not expensive. I think it's around $210 or so. You just register it, then you write their exams, and that will actually assures the university that you apply to that indeed you have fluency in English and you can communicate well in it. The next document that the individual would have to also consider would have to be with CV. And with this CV, I'll do a whole video about CV, the things that has to go into your CV, the country specifics about CV, and anything at all that is important to CV, I will talk about it in my subsequent videos. Then the next thing also has to do with statement of purpose, which others call it goal or motivational statement, and then some also call it letter of intent. It basically means the same thing. Statement of purpose actually ensures your academic capabilities and your competencies. I will find time also and do a vlog on that for you to know what it's all about. Then the next thing would have to be a recommendation. Okay, you need a recommendation from your lecturer. Okay, and here the recommendations must be at least two and then at most three. It depends on the requirement of the school that you are applying for. Some schools prefer two, others prefer three. But so far, what I know is that maximum is three and the minimum is two. But with the recommendation, it is also advisable to seek recommendations from doctors and professors. I would explain this one later for you to understand why it is important to seek for recommendation from doctors and professors. And those in the industry, you can also get a recommendation from your immediate supervisor or your employer. Okay, thank you for that. Then the next one would have to do with GRE or GMAT. That's a graduate record examination, which of course, and then the GMAT is also there, which of course you can get it from the Education Testing Service, that's the ETS website. You just register and then you write it. That one is basically around $205 as at now. So you can actually register for it and write. It's not difficult. You just prepare and then you write it. The next thing, which is very, very important over here, is what resources. Someone may say, why did I actually bring something like on that sort? It is very, very important. For all you know, for scholarship application, even the research alone, it's even beyond, an academic course that you have read or you are reading. Okay, it really needs time. It really needs time. It's time consuming, and you need to dedicate time for that before you can get what you want. And the other resource too that is also important would have to be money, because at first, most of the schools applications was free. There was no fee for applying to schools outside or beyond your home country. But now, due to competition and how things are going, 90% of the schools in all countries globally now accept application fee. So you need to also prepare yourself for that. At least you need some budget around so that when you begin your journey and you get there, you'll be able to afford it. Then the next thing, which is also not that important, but it's really important when you dedicate your life for such business, or you dedicate or you're all in all for such business. You have to be committed. Okay, if you are not committed, trust me, there's no way you can win, a scholarship or probably get the opportunity to go and study overseas, because the process is very, very tedious. I'm not trying to scare you, but it is very, very tedious. You go here, you see this, you have to go for it, you see that, you have to do it. It's very, very it's very, very tedious. Let me be frank with you and be honest over here. It's kind of cumbersome, but if you are committed to it, there's no way you can't make it. Okay, and for you to be committed, you need seriousness as well. You need to be very serious about it. You need to be very particular about it. That this thing I want, this is what I'm going for, and I'm going with a winning mentality. At the end of the day, I need to win it. Okay, so you have to also consider that. Then the next thing that is basically not applicable to all countries has to do with a recommendation from a supervisor or letter from your supervisor. It usually signifies an acceptance letter. So I will do a vlog too about that too for you to know what it means. Okay. Then the next thing that is also not that important, but it depends on the country that you are applying for. Every country has its own regime for education. So if let's say you are considering Asian country and they said you have to upload a soft copy of a passport picture, you have to do that. If you are applying to, let's say, European country, a school in a European country, and they say they need a soft copy of passport picture, you just have to upload it, okay? And this thing, it has to be white background, okay? Just take a passport picture with a white background and you keep it in a soft form, not in a hard form. Then the next thing that has to do with research proposal. Here, I brought it here because there are some programs in most of the schools outside that are in acceleration domain. When I say acceleration domain, you can actually do your master's and PhD together. There are programs like that. Let me put it that way. So if you are that type that you want to be in academia till you are done with your PhD, I would advise you to go in for that. I mean, apply for an accelerated work program so that after your master's, then the PhD continue. So let's say someone can do master's for, let's say, 6 years. That's master's and PhD together for 6 years, whilst others will go in for master's for 2 years and then PhD for 4 years, or let's say PhD for 3 years. You get it? They are all there. And before you can apply to such program, you need research proposal. And for ordinary masters, there are some countries that accept research proposal. So it's very, very important. Going forward, I will do application to country specific for you to know the things that they require so that you prepare yourself for that. If indeed you want to go to that country, then you know what you have to have before you can actually apply to that country. So over here, I brought China over here as an example, okay? For China, if you want to apply to Chinese schools, you need what we call a physical examination report. It's basically medicals, okay? There's a form that they require. So you have to get that document, you take it to any professional doctor working in an accredited medical or let's say hospital for him or her to examine you about the things that they need, okay? Then you go for what we call non-criminal records. This non-criminal records, you get it from the police headquarters. You have to go to police headquarters for your non-criminal records. And then all the Chinese schools, if I am right, or let's say majority of Chinese schools, they accept, okay, a letter from your supervisor. So before you can apply, you need to contact probably a lecturer in the university that you want to apply. And then the lecturer will write an acceptance letter to you. So in your application process, you'll be asked to provide that document and you just put it there before you submit your application. So thank you for having time to listen to me. And going forward, I promise you, I will release a lot of video for you to know a lot about scholarship applications. They are very, very important. And what I want to assure you is that don't give up and know that you are not just applying for scholarship or applying to schools to study overseas, even though it is for personal development and then also working towards your career or objective, but it is also an employment or avenue. It's also an employment avenue. So going forward, I will come with a lot of video for you to know. Thank you for having time with me. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly subscribe to my channel. Help me to grow my channel so that I will be able to also do a lot of videos for you to know about scholarship and then opportunities abroad. Thank you. Thank you very much. See you in my next video. Bye.